Hi everybody, we're Rob and Leslie Hildebrand.
Welcome to the Chateau de la Grifferaie.
3 years ago, we sold or mortgaged everything we had to buy this beautiful chateau.
With the hope that we could create a special place of learning for young people to learn about their world and themselves.
It's been an amazing adventure so far, with so much more to come.
So come along with us as we wake this sleeping beauty and restore her to her former glory.
Hi everybody,
guys.
Welcome to the Chateau de la Grifferaie. We're back again.
Back again.
And we're putting this video up a day early. Congratulations if you like videos.
Look at us on the ball.
I know, we just thought let's give them the whole weekend to watch the video. Man, we had a ton of things happen this weekend. What happened, Les?
We really did. Well, you reminded me that we went to the Brocante this week. I couldn't believe that was still this week.
We found some fun pieces, which you'll see.
The Olympics started.
The Olympics started.
Which is interesting. Bingy got a haircut.
Mr. Bingley got a haircut. We finished the weeds. We had the roofers come.
Right.
Today we went and saw...
Oh, 2 Chateaux.
Yeah, which we'll show at the end. They're both very cool.
There's so many in this area, and I figure if we're going to live here, we really need to, know what a lot of them look like. So we went to 2 that were on a top 10 list for Loire Valley. So
yeah, so stick around to watch that. I got a meal at the end as well. And then the big news was last week we were talking about pianos, and we had a piano that we were looking at the start. We drove all the way out there. John Broadwood and Sons, €2,500. Beautiful piano. Here you're seeing it while we're talking. And just but our sellers, they
decided not to sell it.
Yeah, and again, he loves his piano. He spent 3 or 4 times the amount they're selling it for to get it. Yeah, and just could not bear to leave it. And so we understood that. But then we had some news. They contacted us again. They
did, and maybe this week you'll find out what happened.
No, you got no, you can't leave them hanging like that.
Oh, I can.
No, it's good news. It's good news, ladies and gentlemen.
You just can't handle it.
No, we got to tell. So they changed their mind. They had a conversation. You know how sometimes husbands and wives, you don't always see things. It's you have to sometimes work things out. And they had a conversation, and they're heading, well, I won't say all their life, but it just made sense for them to sell, even though it was really tough decisions. So they called and said, hey, if you'll still buy it, we'll still sell it to you. And we're thrilled. It's arriving this coming week. You won't see it this video.
Can't wait.
But August 1st, this piano will be in this house, and it's going to be awesome.
It'll be great.
I'm thrilled.
I know. I can't actually... It hasn't processed mentally for me yet.
I've been watching videos on reshaping hammers because the hammers are definitely, it makes it sound tinny when they get flat, and also if they have grooves, which the piano does. So we're going to do some work on the hammers, little voicing with the poking things. And
did you find, my dad had a whole piano tuning kit because he used to always tune our pianos at home. Did you find it?
No, not yet. It's in the States, I think, but I did order one from Amazon. I know, I couldn't wait.
I thought it was in the container.
I couldn't wait.
Robert.
So I'm going to take a shot at it. And I know some of you guys are like, oh, you can't do that. You can't. No, we can. I'm pretty sure we can do it. We'll see. My dad was an orchestra conductor, and I historically have a pretty good ear. He actually had me tune the harp for the orchestra all the time. Yeah. Or at least a few times. We've
been in music for a long time, so I think it's going to be okay.
So, I know, guys, some of you guys are worried about us. I mean, there's a lot of things to... we'll see what happens. We don't want to be too cocky, but...
We'll find out.
We're excited.
Yeah.
All right, new week, and it's starting off a little bit unexpected, but in a good way. Our roofers called, and they have some time, and they had a big machine, and so they have come to the chateau, and they're going to redo the crowning circle up there that has some leaks. So that's exciting. I'm going to put this on the actually, I don't know how cool this will be on the time lapse, but I'm going to put it on the time lapse so you can enjoy it, and it's going to be great. We continue to eliminate leaks, which is what you want. Really thankful they came back. I wasn't sure if they're going to come back. In America, sometimes when you have a situation where there's only maybe $10,000 left to pay, and it's at the end of the project. Sometimes contractors are just kind of like, you know what, we're not even gonna finish because we don't need the money that much. So it looks like Leslie's shooting video up there too. That's funny. We'll clip to her next maybe. But I'll put this on the time lapse and you can enjoy it. I really hope that big machine doesn't wreck our nice square, like make deep ruts. So far it looks okay. My friend David Dawson, who was I guess I was gonna say the mastermind or the brains behind getting the square fixed, or also the worker, most of it. He was suggesting to us that we get it compacted, and right now his suggestion is looking really good because it looks like I think we're not gonna have ruts.
Well, you never know how the day is gonna start. Rob had plans on doing certain things, and guess who showed up? The roofing guys are gonna come fix some things that kind of literally fell through the cracks. And so up on the, exactly above me, there's Rob out there, he's filming too. Anyways, yeah, so that's great news. So they brought the big, huge guy again so they could get to the very, very top. And there he goes.
Leslie wants to go to tours today to pick up some stuff from IKEA and you know, and just have lunch and do some different things, and that's nice, but I gotta be honest, there is no part of me that wants to leave this place. It's beautiful. And you know, we think about going to all these cool places. I'm like, man, these places have nothing on where we are. It's a good thing. This is totally what we needed for underneath our big table. Look at that beautiful support, 45 bucks. Would have been perfect. And we have a good solution already, but my goodness. Let's see what we can find. Okay, I don't know if we get these in the van, but look at that. 4 massive bookshelves, beautiful, matching. And here's the price. 59 euros each. I'm gonna definitely show those to Leslie. I don't know if we can get them in. I don't know if we have room in the house, but that would handle the library. We do generally take a look at the bikes because we have some good bikes and students enjoy bikes. And I don't usually look at tools, but look at that ladder. Look at how tall it is. It's a one piece, looks new, looks strong, really simple. It's not gonna break. And I think you could get pretty much, it's pretty tall. I wonder how tall it is, but I think it would get us up to the top of most of our floors. 69 euro, tempting. Leslie is tempted by these too. We often have, you know, the fancy drinks here in France, and we're not really well set up for that, and so it might be smart to pick some up. Looks like she said 9 glasses for 23 euro, so a little bit more, but she likes them. Okay, we don't have grandkids, but if we did, isn't that pleasant? Little cradle, 39 euro. I like it. So what'd you find, Bess?
Okay, so in the boys' bedroom in the basement, remember we had one dresser, but we need a second one. So I found either this guy or there's another one around the corner.
And this one is cheap, 39.
He's $10 more. I'm not sure he's $10 better.
I think I like the other one better.
I think the other one wins.
49. What's that one?
Cute. Yeah, 49. The other one was 39.
And you saw the bookshelves too?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Is there a place we can put them?
What in the world? Well, did you measure?
No.
Okay.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is where it's nice to be married to an interior designer. She's looking. We've got all these great area rugs. I'll pan over. Got some there, more here. See if I can zoom out for you. And so we're gonna pick up a couple. They're about $50. They're maybe 8-9 feet by 6 feet. So they're nice and big, pretty reasonable. And Leslie has the eye to know where they're gonna work.
Yeah.
It's one of the magical skills she has. She can walk in and go, yep, that one, and that one. For this room, that room, and that room.
Yeah.
The other day, you maybe remember our grand salon, she paint matched perfectly the green without, like when she was not there and did not have a picture nor a swatch. And it was perfect. It's like the perfect pitch of color.
Yeah, it works.
What do we have here?
So I've been still trying to find something that goes at the end of the hole into that mirror. And we can't usually afford fancy pieces. But he's beat up. But at least he's fancy-ish. He's got a nice Bombay kind of front. You know, he's not.
A little expensive, $145, which, I mean, for here is expensive.
Yeah.
I'll zoom out.
Yeah, so he has some issues, but
It's tempting?
it is tempting, yes. It is tempting.
You're hesitating on, you don't like we're thinking about the bookshelves. You don't think so?
it out. I'm mulling it over.
No. We'd have to move the armoire to the other side, but then potentially put the TV in it.
So you'd only buy 2 bookcases?
No, you buy 4 and then, potentially 4, and then you take the couch out of there.
That gets to be a full room.
I know, but you got all the books in. I don't know. Debating. What do we have here?
Well, I like the frame. I like that it's painted. I just don't maybe like the colors in the painting.
Well,
Nor do I know what town it is.
How much?
30. So great for the frame. It's a nice frame.
Yeah.
They only have it stuck in the back. So.
Anybody's looking for a fancy 70s bed? Built-in phone, sound system. So you know Leslie, she always wants to be on camera. She was saying, Rob, put me on camera more. No, she didn't say that at all. She actually, it's quite the opposite. But you got lovely you and lovely Rose is there. Now you were saying something. Now we just had the group and we had the group from the school and you know, lots of nice students, but it was also a lot of work. It was hard. Great leaders, but it was hard. And so it was really nice. They sent some money to the nonprofit, and that was kind of why we did it too. It's good for the organization. And you were thinking, what were you thinking? Because I was thinking it's just gonna go to general funds.
I know. So when my mom would sometimes give us money for birthdays or anniversaries, she was always very adamant that when she would give something, she wanted us to have it go towards something specific that we could remember something by, rather than it just going in general life.
Paying for propane for the weeds.
Whatever. Yeah. So I'm thinking this was an extra chunk that we didn't ask for. It's kind of extra.
And honestly, it was because we worked really hard. You know,
anyway.
It was, yeah.
At any rate, so I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if we could take that chunk and put it towards something specific that we normally would be waiting down the line for?
Yeah, we wouldn't buy normally.
So I was driving home from Angers.
Yeah, what were you thinking? You had some ideas.
I have 4 ideas so far. And maybe you don't like the 4th one.
I don't like the 4th, but give me the first 3. Mr. Bingley's in the background, by the way. Running out towards the tractor. Somebody's working out there.
Good.
Yeah.
First thing, we could buy a small tractor so we could have an attachment so we could keep the square good all the time, and we could dig things up and make paths, and we could push out trees, and like there's a whole bunch of stuff.
It's in our future for sure.
Yeah.
At some point.
Number 2, we could create a pool and a hot tub area at the back of the property
for the students.
For the students,
at least the hot tub.
Well, yes.
Maybe the pool too. I mean, the pool.
Well, I'm going to turn over to the pool. I think the pool could be that much. Like I remember when we first came next door, a person had kind of, I said, what do you think roughly it would be? And he was about that. So I'm like, it could be. There's already a hole. It just obviously has to become a pool.
Now, in fairness, you know, college students would love a hot tub. Like that would be.
And a pool.
And I don't think, well,
it's
a pool.
Been hot here. So I'm just saying.
That feels like a lot of work, the pool, but the hot tub would be not that much work.
Anyways,
okay.
Well, the hot tub doesn't reach this number.
No.
Anyway, I'm talking about something specifically large that we normally wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Okay. So a little tractor, a pool.
Hot tub. Yep.
Or a little car. Right now we have the van, which is awesome, but we're starting to put miles on it because it's what we have to drive. Right. And it would be great for buzzing around.
Like a small car that you can park easily.
Yeah. You don't want me to say my 4th idea?
No, well, no, you can say it, but well, let's talk about number 3. The car is a good idea. Like, I mean, in our future will be a car, because when we're in session, we have the 2 vans to take the students, and then we have a car to take the GAs, but also you run all the time for groceries, like once a day, and so a car is probably something that needs to happen eventually too. A little tiny, cheap, not too expensive car.
No.
Just a simple car.
Yeah.
Just a little Mercedes-Benz. No, I'm just kidding. BMW, just something, you know, for the simple folk. No, it would be a cheap car. Anyways, then what's your 4th idea that I don't like?
My 4th idea, so there's still property on the other side that belongs with the whole parcel of the house.
I'm going to turn the camera again.
Okay.
Okay. Beyond those trees.
Over there, that we don't own yet, that I would love to own, and then we just have the whole property enclosed and it's just all done.
It would be good to keep the property together on one sign, and also it'd be good to, there's some trees that we'd kind of like to get the ivy off so that they're preserved, because, you know.
there are several really amazing heritage trees over there that I would love to try and clean up.
Save, yeah.
Because they're just getting swallowed by these crazy trees called trees of heaven. It's like taking over the forest over there, and it is not good.
Yeah.
So anyways,
so you think, but this is $20,000, and that's going to be at least 100.
Yes, but it's incrementally getting us there.
So it would be like a start. It would be kind of like a seed fund for a fundraiser.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's the stables, which is another kind of
stables
fundraising
roof.
Kind of thing. Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
but that's
the stable roof.
those are big. Those last two are big ones, but the little ones.
They are, but they incrementally get us somewhere.
Let's go to Mr. Bingley.
So, anyways, that's my 2
No, it's a good idea.
Because I would rather be purposeful at getting something, getting us going somewhere with that, rather than just putting it in there and.
Yeah. It kind of, I mean, considering you and I guess me and also Kathy, we all did quite a bit of work for that, and so I suppose that way you feel like maybe somehow in our minds it makes it feel like that went to something rather than going into a black hole of general funds.
I don't know. It just would be nice, I think.
It's good. There are subtle things about living in a chateau that are awesome. For example, today, absolutely beautiful weather, and so the temperature is perfect. It's like right now it's about 18 Celsius, like 65 Fahrenheit. It's been hot, so it's gonna stay cool all morning. And so what do? You walk around to every single window in the chateau, or every room, and you open up windows, and there's this beautiful breeze wafting through the house. It's difficult to communicate how pleasant that is, just to be sitting here, and you just feel this gentle breeze, you know? Makes me think of the song, How Great Thou Art, and feel the gentle breeze. Oh man, so pleasant. Wish I could convey it somehow, have you experience the joy of it. You walk into a room like this one and you just feel the warmth radiating from all the walls. That's again the beauty of these chateaux, is the thermal mass. So we have all the shutters closed, of course, but we open up the windows, and we just open up one per side because we don't want, we'll close this back up, we don't want birds coming in, and then we find if we open up both of them, much greater chance you're gonna get birds. Boy, the view's not so great right now there, is it? Need to get that other side cleaned up. Maybe someday, when we buy the other half, we'll be able to clear some of those things out. But in the meantime, we'll take care of our side. Back to weeds, by the way, this week. Back to weeds. Let's get them done. Okay, there it is. Done at least 2/3. I wanted to say 3/4, but that's probably not true. Definitely it's taken longer than I thought. But it's doing a good job. It's nice and clear. Notice a couple things. Interesting, when you put the flame to the sand, you know, it seems to go a little purple for a bit. I don't know if that's ash or what that is. But over time then, as you drive on and rain comes and wind, it goes away. Notice also, remember when we first did the sand, remember how yellow it was? I actually kind of like the yellow. It threw a cool light on the chateau, but this is probably more what we expected. And this is more in line with what most chateaux are. So it sort of has turned a little bit more white over time. No complaints. This chateau is looking beautiful either way. Mr. Bigley and I surveying the beautiful square this morning. It's nice and clear, but you will notice that it's not permanently clear. Like, you do come up against little places where it's starting to grow again. So, but you know what? You just go like this, give it a quick, and they're gone. Maintenance a lot easier. I'm gonna call this day 3, but I don't honestly know which day it is. We continue to improve. Sometimes spraying works on the big ones. The little thin ones work great with burning. And then when you get to these guys, they don't do so great with the burner. And so Leslie says, let's try the scuffler. I don't know if I can do this with one hand, but let me see. Yeah, see if I can. It works like a dream. And so I mean, I got one hand on the phone, so, but I can go way faster with this thing than I can with the burner. It's very tiring, but. So now what I'm doing is I'm burning the little stuff that burns easily, and then the big stuff I'm scuffing, and then we're gonna get the blower and just blow the residue off. Live and learn. Mr. Bingley and the Roses, what more do you want in life? Ladies and gentlemen, the square is done. I have de-weeded the entirety of the, I don't know, what is it, an acre? Probably. It's huge. Should measure it. And it was no small task. It's official. I'm an optimist. I started off, I thought, oh, for sure, one day, no problem, we'll get this thing done. Yeah, no problem. And then I thought, nah, it's gonna be 2 days. And then I kept going, and then 3 days, and honestly, it was pretty much a week. But I did a lot of other things during the week too, but you know, I learned a lot about weeding, and one of the things I learned is different kinds of weeds, you fight them differently. You know, the broadleaf ones, they scuff up real easy with a scuffer or the sprayer. The very thin ones are great with the fire blowtorch. And the ones that are low to the ground and medium wide, kind of dense, honestly, they can be sprayed or scuffed. They don't work well with the fire. So, you know, you get better, you improve as you look at things. I think the next time I do it, I'm gonna start with the scuffer, and we're gonna scuff the easy stuff, and then we're gonna use the sprayer, we're gonna get the wide stuff, and then the burner will be the final piece for the little guys. Now, again, this is a lot of work. Someday we'll own a small tractor with a blade, and then we'll just blade the whole thing. It'll be way quicker, it'll be way easier. Isn't that the way to go, Mr. Bingley? That is definitely the way to go. But in the meantime, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our students to help us. I think we might have somebody whose main job is the square. Maybe 4 or 5 hours a week. They just walk around scuffing stuff up, and that's their job. Somebody else does the dishes, somebody else makes lunch. We all help out, and we all get to enjoy the beauty of the beautiful chateau. Interesting situation. Yesterday morning, Monday morning, we got a call, bunch of calls, email, and it was the roofers, and the roofers wanted to come back. So that was great. We're thinking, oh, that's terrific. Now you remember that the guys finished up, I don't know, quite a few months ago, maybe 6 or 7 months ago. And there are still a few leaks, which is normal, I think, on a project as big as this. And so, you know, we were wanting to, they're wanting to come back and clean everything up, which is normal. So they came back and took a look, and they said, hey, well, one of the problems is right at the top of the big tower, you know, there's this, the flashing, or whatever it's called, the decorative flashing. They said something like 8 leaks, and each corner has a leak. And so I was kind of like, well, you know, that's part of the roof, right? You're going to fix that, because no, you don't finish a roof with 8 leaks kind of left. I'm thinking they're going to do that, and they came, took a look, and then they said, well, yeah, $2,000. And I was a little bit like, that doesn't feel right to me. It feels like that should be part of the roof. Where it started to, you know, maybe there's a bit of a communication breakdown. Of course, there's language. We're new to a culture. We're learning. There's lots of things to get over. And I think early on we had said we want to keep some of the original ornamentation up high, including some of the ridge caps. But our assumption was that if something was like wholly or destroyed, you know, wrecked, then let's put new stuff in, right? That was our assumption, but we didn't say that. And so, you know, you have the situation where the ring at the top has, you know, kind of one type of crown piece, and then it's a different kind on the other side where they had to put a new one. And I'm kind of like, well, let's get that all the same, right? And so good news, they came yesterday. I thought, oh, good, they're going to come clean that up, come fix it. They didn't. They walked around and they plugged up some holes, which is great. And there was also another issue. There was one of the dormers. We have 6 dormers over windows, and one of them we noticed later. I think if you've watched our videos, you'll notice that one of them, where there was the birds making that huge nest underneath, it never got done. They left, there was a bunch of metal over it, and so they just kind of left that. And they said, well, we thought maybe you'd want that. And I'm like, why would we want a 50-year-old metal patch, you know, when we could have it new? But in any case, you know, these 2 things were kind of outstanding. So they're like, so at the end we're like, hey, you're gonna do those, right? And they're like, no, we're not gonna do those. And so we're like, okay, so what do you do now? You know, we've got a bit of a reserve now. Our last payment was going to be 100,000, and I was feeling nice, and so we put 50,000 in early. And then we came back; they were mostly done, so we gave them another 40,000. We held back 10,000 because we thought, well, you got to have some control to make sure the job's finished, right? Again, we're thinking like North Americans here, and different countries have perhaps different perspectives on things. And so, you know, they came back and they plugged the leaks, and hopefully we, you know, got the birds out, but they aren't going to do the other things. And so I'm kind of like, so Leslie and I are like, okay, what do we do now? Do we, you know, are we going to pay these guys? Are we not going to pay them? Are we going to withhold the money? Are we going to go? Apparently France has a very good system of kind of arbitration. And so from what I understand, I think we'd be in a pretty good situation if we wanted to complain about some things. The big one, obviously, is the valley. They didn't replace the valley where all the water channels, and to us, that was part of the roof. To them, that was a gutter. Again, it's a gutter that's like 6 feet wide, so to us, it was roof. But again, like in life, sometimes you have disagreements. Okay, so we have a disagreement. What are you going to do? Are we going to hold out the money? Here's where it gets complicated. Now, some guys probably out there, and I know even in the comments, some guys are like, yeah, you know, those guys should be doing it right. You know, hold their feet to the fire, get it done. And there's definitely part of us that feels that way. And then the other part of us is kind of like, we don't want to be jerks. Like, we're guests in this country, we're foreigners, we're immigrants, we don't know the language. And honestly, some of this might be our fault too, because when you're dealing with different languages and different expectations, you can make assumptions, and we probably did. You know, we know how it would be done in Canada or in America, and so we assume that it would be done that way in France. Different country, you know? And so those guys, you know, they may not be doing anything wrong. They might... they're good guys. They came and they worked hard, and they've been really good to us, and they give us a good fair price, and it's a beautiful chateau, isn't it? So we're definitely thankful for them. At the end, our friend Jonathan came out and he said, hey, I want to make sure everything's okay, you know, because in the end, Leslie and I said, you know what, we're gonna make the payment. We're just gonna make the payment, and you know what, maybe we're taking the L on this, maybe not, but anytime you have conflict in life, you always see your perspective and you think you're right, and maybe you are, but sometimes there's another perspective too. But at the end of the day, we're thankful we have a roof. We don't want to become a stench in their nostrils. How's that for a good biblical phrase? You know, like you guys, we talk about being Christians, and one of the biggest ideas of Christianity is love your neighbor and do unto others as you would have done. And we want these guys' business to do well. We don't want to trash them, and we don't want to, get into some kind of fight over money and something. Like, we don't want to do that. It's not who we want to be. And so, I don't know, is it the right thing? Maybe. That's what we've chosen to do. And sure enough, Jonathan, he got the email and he said, yeah, I want to come out anyways. And so he talked to us, and we had a good conversation. And again, they're saying they're going to cover any leaks or any problems for 10 years, which is fantastic. He said, just call them up, they'll come out. And so, there's some good news there. Hopefully we didn't, I think we saved the relationship, even though we're maybe a little bit frustrated still. But this lady, where'd you come from, Bess? Look at your beautiful hair.
Oh dear.
Look at your beautiful hair. Oh, I get some food.
I know.
Ooh, what is
Lidl.
it? Is it? Oh, it's Lidl. Oh, I like Lidl. It's
do.
nice and reasonably priced. That tastes good. Little snack. We're gonna celebrate tonight. It's the beginning of the Olympics. Yeah. We're gonna watch the opening ceremonies. We are going to eat some steak. Did you buy some steak?
I did.
Yeah, we're gonna try out the nice barbecue. We're gonna make some onions in there and some mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gonna be beautiful. Opening ceremonies of the Olympics, and we're celebrating by barbecuing steak. And we're trying out some big French mushrooms. Decided to try to do one whole. That's a big mushroom. Thumb for scale. It's quite big. I'm gonna try a little garlic bread, some potatoes and onions in there, steak. Ooh, yum. I'm out here in the back oaks, right past the pools, and as you know, if you've watched the channel, you know that I do enjoy mowing. In fact, to the point where sometimes I kind of feel guilty that maybe I'm mowing too much, and it's like there's a lot of other jobs I got to do, and so I'm like, okay, well. But then I realized, you know what, last week I had pretty much the whole lawn cleaned up, the whole yard, as we say in Canada, the whole garden as we say other places. And I thought, I didn't really get to the back, I should go out and take a look. And it looks like this. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's like 16 inches high. I don't know, it was 2 weeks maybe, you know, since I've been here. And so, yeah, man, you got to do it. It's a weird thing. So on one hand, I'm feeling guilty that I'm not doing other things, but then I'm also, I got to get out here. So, you know, it's, again, this is all a mental game. When you have big jobs like this, it's a mental game. You got to keep yourself moving. You got to stay positive and enjoy your work. I need some help. I can't figure something out. I'm taking this lawn tractor apart. It was the weirdest thing. So it was dead. So I've got a new battery in there, and I put the key in, started up great, and ran for a couple minutes. Drove over here from the, you know, that far, and then it started going blah, 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 and then eventually stopped. And I assumed, you know, the gas is about a year old, so I thought, well, it's old gas. So I took out the gas, put in new gas, and I thought, oh, this will be fine now. And nope, can't get her going. And I looked at the air filter, it's clean, and so I'm figuring it's got to be the spark plug. I took that off. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely not starting. Yeah, anybody know, any ideas? Spark plug's my best guess right now. It's turning over. And gas, it's not a fuel filter. I checked that out. I pulled that off and the gas flows freely. Oil is full, air filter's clean. Ideas? Okay, here's the noise it makes when I go to start it. Nothing. Still haven't got it going, but I was looking at it and I was thinking, man, that thing looks cool with the top off. And I was thinking, you know what we should do if we get this thing going? We should see if we could make it go a little faster, and then our students could drive it on the go-kart track. Wouldn't that be fun for college students? Yeah, sometimes I do think like a youth worker, I'll admit it. But that would be fun if we can just get this started. I got to take that spark plug out and see if it's fouled. Again, if anyone knows about cars and you have an idea what's not working, let me know. Okay, so here we are. We're going on an excursion. We're going on an excursion today. When it was Leslie's birthday a little while back, she had to work straight through the day and said, let's just do it later. And so today we're going to visit 2 chateaux. Yeah. What's the first one?
Chateau Grifferaie. On my calendar today, I put chateau hopping.
Chateau hopping. And it says it has an underground
tunnels.
Train. Yeah, tunnels, and so that should be interesting too.
I know. Ooh, I also see that?
Brocante.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you want to go to that first?
I mean, I don't know. Let's. Who knows what we're gonna see?
Whoop.
Oh, you can see it up there. Where? See it above the fence.
I can't. Oh yeah, that looks great. Oh, look at this. Do we go in here?
Yeah.
Roll, yeah.
Oh, fun.
Oh, that is fun. Oh, this is where it's seeing.
Cool. It kind of looks
It looks the part.
Yeah, look at the thing in front of us.
We have lots of parking. Nobody's here.
I wonder if that's a pigeoneer. The grounds here just feel lovely. Like sometimes when you go somewhere, things just feel great. Anyway, it feels like a bit of a mini version of Chambord. Look at the top of the windows there. Kind of has a similar.
Very mini, but it's very like countryside. Okay, we've got it on the 0.5, so you can catch the scale.
There is a moat.
Check out the moat.
It is not just any moat. It goes down, down,
Wow.
down.
That is really deep.
Like that would have been officially a moat.
That's one of the deepest moats I've seen, I think. Sometimes we talk about the Tuffeau and getting worn down. You can see that right there. The Tuffeau has been worn down quite a bit. But then as you come over to the other side, you can see that they're refacing.
All the work.
Either refacing or replacing.
Well, both. Look, there's stone down there.
Oh yeah, they do have stone.
So there's probably both.
They're probably putting some new ones in. Yeah, it's a big job. Leslie was just reading that this is one of the deepest, biggest dry moats in Europe, and we believe it.
18 meters.
18 meters deep, yeah. That's really deep. 60 feet. And apparently all the subterranean things are kind of off this. Really interesting.
So as I'm thinking about restoring the stables at some point, I'm always interested in buildings at other chateaux and the colors they use. These guys used a burgundy on all of the doors, which is interesting. Kind of fun to see.
And Leslie's giving this place 2 thumbs up.
I am.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Yeah, definitely has similar detail work that Chambord has.
It's so much smaller than Chambord, though. I mean,
Well, of course it is, but still.
yeah.
Look at the entry over there, and the beautiful balustrades.
Yeah, it's nice. Church.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a bit narrower an entrance than normal.
It is. But the detail work in the two faux and the houses. Oh, look how pretty that is.
Never a shortage of detail in France. There's a heating system.
Great gallery. It took 150 years to get decorated. Here, hold on. I'd like some food.
It keeps going down.
Wow, we're really in the doghouse from down here.
We're down quite a ways, but again, that dry mouth probably opens up. Up there.
I suspect it goes this way. There's light going over there.
Yeah, we're down quite a ways.
So I suspect you get up to the moat over there.
So this is precarious staircase, and it looks light in the video, but in person it is dark. Perhaps this will give you some more perspective how narrow that is.
So it says, I take care to get you through the darkness and don't bump your head.
There we go, claustrophobia. It just keeps angling down. Subterranean dwelling. Well, let's go check it out. Watch. Oh man, you have to duck. "5'4" Leslie ducking to get through. It just goes on and on.
Oh, it's nice to have a window. We have to go back and look at the rest
That's quite something. It just goes on and on. 1,000 years old, some of it. Here we have a pigeoneer.
If only we had one on our property, then maybe we wouldn't live in our house. Look how big it is.
That's a few pigeons. And indeed, don't touch the ladder. Fear not. Can you imagine?
This pigeoneer was built in 1550.
They used to be a sign of wealth. You could only have, apparently, as many slots as you had land to support the pigeons. And then of course, I think they ate them, right? Yeah, goodness.
This is a beautiful little town. We decided it's time to put on...
Oh yeah, you chose a great time. Start recording.
Oh, that's so good.
You nailed that one. Go France.
Oh my goodness. And the whole town looked like this. Oh, look at the pretty pond. Oh. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, that sign means they have right away, but I don't see any.
Let's go slow because this looks tight.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That's how it goes, all right.
Is this the restaurant we're trying for? Ay, ay, ay. It's a little tight in here. Ooh, okay, let's go check it out.
Well, every once in a while, you just get lucky, and we got lucky. We were coming to the chateau, And we saw there's a restaurant here, so I put it in. And we arrived and it was absolutely delightful. Just a lovely spot. Right next to a bit of a river. This is absolutely beautiful. We just happened upon it. We were hoping that there was a place close to the chateau, and there is. And it looks awesome. Looks like there was a few different restaurants to choose from, but here we are. And this is quite impressive, this place. It towers over the river below. And looks like we maybe have some moats. A little bit of a moat. Yeah, we'll go see this place. Definitely has a fairy tale vibe to it. You know, you look down over the moat. Very pleasant. Very pleasant. Through the first gate and around to the second gate. It's very interesting. It's very complicated.
Yeah. Like it didn't let us go around.
Maybe it makes more sense of what we're looking at, you guys. See, conclusive proof that wild boar should be on the top of a chateau.
It's really quite funny. They all have personalities.
Yeah.
I still don't really want them in the house.
No,
though.
you don't want a wild boar still. This is really an interesting one to try to capture. I think you capture it best from down below. But it is really quite beautiful. The outer garden overlooking the river.
We may have to navigate this book.
Okay, we're zoomed out. Look at this big cedar of Lebanon. Now you can see that it's lost the top half and then it's grown sideways all over, which is good because we got a couple like that they've lost the top, but they're still really cool and you don't want to lose them. So that's a thick boy right there. Cool, that says you can walk up to the walls. Let's go get them. Oh, this is so great when you can come up to walk along the walls. Let's take a look. See the river, we drove through that earlier, and then our restaurant was on the other side of that, down there. Beautiful. There's our restaurant right past that. Not 1,000 years old, but almost. And Leslie's showing they had catapults and trebuchets.
I know.
Not awesome. We're probably in the trebuchet area right now.
Oh yeah, look.
Circular round.
Look,
That's cool. Now, don't judge me, you guys. I don't want to be one-dimensional, but you could play some killer Youth Min games in here. This would make a great castle zombie Mission Impossible. Or some type of water war. Outside, obviously. Lots of places to hide, lots of places to run around. Super fun. Sounds like in the 1100s AD, this place was sieged. And they eventually gave up after it was conquered after 3 years. 3 years of siege, and the reason they got it was famine. They ran out of food. This chateau has a huge amount of courtyard. It's amazing they could defend it, honestly. A lot of ways in. Let's go check out the inside. See, that would be perfect for siege. You got a well. There's a river right down below us, so you're not going to water. Let's go take a look at the new chateau.
new color.
Oh, we enter to a staircase.
What's over here first before we go up?
I'm going to zoom out to 0.5 so you can get a sense of the whole building. It's nice. What's really cool, oh, it looks like it goes on there. But what's really cool is the other view. It's it seems rare in a chateau to have like sort of like patio doors, which you have here. It goes out onto your courtyard.
Look at the cool music stand.
Yeah, this is cool. Some of these chateaux, these big grand chateaus, they have not really fixed the inside up very much. But this has some interesting things. Big, massive chandelier and horns, a little bit of furniture. Fun. Now, that is some nice slate. Even the basement is cool, the cave. This is really quite an impressive chateau. Mines of Moria. Up on the ramparts again. Pretty cool. You can go all over the place. And then if someone's coming in the main entrance, you can shoot at them from the side, or you can protect them from the side. Really quite defensible. Well, we found the cuisine, which is great because a lot of times you don't get to see that. You can see the soot on the walls over all the years. And the brass.
Two ovens.
Two, oh yeah, one on each side. I'm sitting next to one here.
Smart.
And then, just like you want, benches in the tables.
Yeah.
You know, after seeing two big, beautiful chateaux, of course, they're much older, but it just occurred to me, man, I like living in ours a lot better. You know, I guess medieval chateau, you expect it to be a little bit rough. But yeah, walking around the beauty of France, and I was thinking today, as I go to the mailbox, I was thinking a little bit about the opening ceremonies. And I'm putting this at the end of the video because I know probably some of you guys don't really like to, or may not be interested in my reflections on the world. And Mr. Bingley's running. No, you're interested in Mr. Bingley's running. He's got his jacket on because it's been raining. Yeah, I just had such mixed feelings. I was watching the French channels this morning, and everybody was like, oh, beautiful ceremony, beautiful ceremony. And then I went on Twitter and also some American social media, and there's a number of people going, why were they insulting Christianity so much? Or articles like Christians offended at the opening ceremonies. I thought, man, I'd like to actually talk about that for a second. Because I imagine those watching the channel, there's probably a bunch of different views. And I want to explain a little bit why probably some people felt at the very least insulted, if not offended. Now, I thought the opening ceremonies had some great points. I thought it was fun that they tried the river. It was cool seeing all the teams come in. Celine Dion at the end was really cool, you know. She's been sick for a while and lost her husband, so it was wonderful to see her singing on the Eiffel Tower. That was a beautiful moment. And of course, the beauty of France. You know, my favorite moment, I think, was the French national anthem, which, by the way, is a beautiful, beautiful song, sung by just a wonderful singer, standing on the top of the Grand Palais. That was incredible. It's a deeply beautiful country. I was super confused at all the kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, ambiguous sexuality. You know, I think probably the kindest way to say it would be diversity, but it was, you know, there's like, especially, there's a couple scenes that were really odd. The one with the heavy metal and the Marie Antoinette, all the Marie Antoinettes with their heads cut off. That didn't offend me. I thought, you know, oh, that's French history. I don't know exactly what they're trying to say. It's a bit odd. What do you think, Mr. Bingley? He doesn't care. We're gonna go get the recycling here. I thought it was a bit odd, but it, you know, it didn't really offend me. Then there was, of course, the runway, and they had a bunch of guys dressed in drag, and it starts kind of with a recreation of the Lord's Supper. And I thought, I'm kind of thinking like, okay. I'm like, why would you intentionally try to insult more than half the world when you add up all the Christians and Muslims, you know, by kind of taking a shot at religion, kind of profaning it a little bit. So I was a little confused at why they would do that, like what their game was with that. I 100% understand that people have different views on right and wrong and religion and what's true. But why would you just intentionally offend a group of people? Like, for example, I disagree with my Muslim friends on a number of things. Like, for example, they maybe don't believe you should eat pork, and they think Muhammad was a prophet and you you know, respect his name and all of that. And that's fine. You know, but even though we may disagree on some of these points, I'm definitely not going to create some kind of artistic expression where we have the prophet eating pork or something like that. Like, I'm not going to draw a picture and go, bah, because that's rude. You know, it's unnecessarily incendiary. It's just common courtesy. So it did not feel like that was France to me. Like, the France I know didn't, you know, I get that it's secular in France and that there's maybe been a distance between the Catholic Church and the church Christians and the French people. I understand that, but to kind of intentionally insult that segment of the population felt out of character to me. It felt beneath France, to be honest. Beautiful country, France. The one though I really want to go after is the library scene. Now, if you watch the library scene, you have these 3 young people, flamboyant colors, and they all sort of are reading these books, and they're making eyes at each other, and they sort of are attracted to each other, and then they all basically, they look at a book and it says something like The Triumph of Love or Love Wins or something like that. And the 3 of them all run into this room and then close the door, and the idea is that they're going to have sex. And that's the power of Triumph of Love, this kind of ambiguous sexuality with 3 people. And celebrated kind of as a virtue. And I'm kind of thinking, you know, again, I get that we see the world differently, but you can't tell me that that's the power or triumph of love. Love is a complicated world. Now, is love physical love? Yeah, it includes it. You know, the middle schoolers who see each other for the first time, you become infatuated. You see that girl and you can't breathe. You're just, I'm so in love. Yeah, that's part of love. The first time Leslie and I held hands, you know, I think we were in a car heading off to a football game, and we'd been dating for a couple of months. We took it slow. And I remember touching her hand and just the electricity and exhilaration of that moment. We're in high school. Incredible. Is that part of love? Yes, absolutely. And lots of other physical things. Our first kiss, you know, many things you can think of, all part of love. But that is not the power of love. Like that, the triumph of love. Love is a commitment. Love is 2 people who decide to fight their own selfish human nature and to commit to each other's well-being, and they sacrifice for each other. And they stay with each other. You know, true love. 2 old people in the old folks' home. One is, you know, maybe dying and sick, and the other is caring for them. Now, you know, let's talk about that, and you can talk to me about the triumph of love. Not 3 people with kind of this irresponsible tryst that's probably going to end up in broken hearts. And it just, I don't know. To me, that was kind of like, I have a hard time imagining that could be true, that view. But even if it is, really, is the Olympics, is that the time to kind of take your shots at religious people and anybody that wants to hold some type of sexual ethic, saying there's such a thing as right and wrong? It just felt weird to me. So it was a bummer. I'm going to still watch the Olympics. I'm not going to boycott. I know a lot of people are talking about boycott. I'm not going to do that, but it felt out of place and kind of beneath France. France is an amazing country, and I love it. And I'm still learning it, and I want to be humble about that. But yeah, for what it's worth, that was my take. It's great. We got a amuse-bouche. Always a good sign. Appetizers out. My crevettes look great. And your gazpacho, we're not sure.
Melon soup. It's a melon.
Soup. Beets, maybe? Thank you. Okay, here we go. Here's the lamb. Some nice vegetables. The Leslie's looks really good with the mushrooms. Chicken.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it looks great. Let's see how it tastes. Oh, I forgot to take it right off the start. It's a nectarine that we cut in half.
Yes, with some puree at the bottom.
Puree.
And a lemon sorbet.
Lemon sorbet. Looks good.
So thanks, guys, for coming with us on another week here at the Chateau.
Mr. Bingley waves goodbye. He's like, what are you doing?
So anyway, hope you guys have a good week, guys. We'll see you later.
See you with the piano next week.